Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Okay, as you can see today, I'm feeling in a bit of a blue and teal mood. I'm going to show you my nails in a minute. Now, I've got a plan and I've got a backup plan because I've got an idea about what products I want to use, but one of them looks very old. Hello, Stacey. I have this colour Chameleon by Charlotte Tilbury, and it's in the colour Enchanting Indigo. Hello! There, I nearly called you Granny. Hello, Pamela. How are you? So it's looking very old, and I think it probably needs to go in the bin. But I've sharpened it a lot, and I'm hoping it will work. If not, I have a backup plan. Hello, Shahina. So I'm feeling in a kind of teal, navy mood because of my nails. So these are my nails today. So I've got, this one has got kind of glittery nail varnish on with a little thing in the middle, diamante, and then the other ones are blue with this sort of topper over the top, which looks like snow. So it's kind of inspired me for my makeup look. Thank you. I love doing my nails at the moment. It's my favourite pastime. So I'm going to put a bit of sunscreen on. And how are you all? They match the dressing gown. This isn't, I know what you mean, that I have got a dressing gown that's purple. But this is my jumper today. For once, I'm not sat in my dressing gown. But I do have some nail varnish that matches my dressing gown as well. So how is everyone today? My dad was over yesterday and he offered to go out, and we went to this this shop that sells really pretty but cheap stuff that you can put to pep up your home, and it was for my flat because it's about to go on the market. Mick's been doing it up. Ah, you've got an electrician in. You're having a beautiful day. Charlie says hello. How is he? Is he feeling better? How is Charlie? Everyone wants to know. Right, I'm going to put some, has his chest infection gone away? That's what I want to know. Has it done the trick this time, or is it still lingering? What's happened? That was bizarre. Did that happen on your screen as well as mine? I suddenly lit up. That was really bizarre. Yes, it's gone. Good. Please do a coffee meetup. You want to do a coffee meetup? I think we're all scattered all over the country. What keeps happening to the lighting? It's not my face suddenly does that and then it goes back again. That is really weird. Or is it just happening my end? You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but suddenly my face lights up and then it goes again. And I don't know quite why. I'm in Essex at the moment. Must be the, no, it's weird. It's not the sun. It's sort of, I can't explain it. Is it not happening your end? In which case it's okay, as long as it's not happening your end. Ah, you're in London. Well, I've just come from London. We did talk about some people that were based in and around London having a meet-up in a Charlotte Tilbury, in the Charlotte Tilbury shop at one point. At the moment, it's going to be pretty tricky because I'm back and forward between London and Essex all the time, trying to sell my flat. But yeah, it's certainly something to think about. It's done it again. My face has gone all shiny. You're in Northamptonshire. It's very bizarre, my phone lighting today. But anyway, never mind. It's really, really weird. Maybe my mum's trying to say hello to us all. Now, talking about my mum, I did that last video on breast cancer awareness. And one of you, and again, you know, I'm sorry. Hello, hello to Austria from Marianne. Hello. I promised that I would spread the word. One of you very rightly commented, and I have a friend that this affected. Hi, I get to see you live. You, Stacey, come down for a day trip. One of you commented about people with dense breast tissue, and this actually is quite pertinent to a friend of mine. And if you have dense breast tissue, sometimes, well, most of the time, cancer does not show up on a mammogram. So if you have, it's important to ask whether or not you've got dense breast tissue when you have a mammogram, because if you do, really the only thing that's going to rule out breast cancer is an ultrasound of your breasts. So a lot of people don't know this. A friend of mine had dense breast tissue and it was missed. And she kind of went and had a private ultrasound and it showed up, and she took the ultrasound scan results back to the NHS and said, please do something. And, you know, they caught it in time, thankfully, but she had to have chemo and stuff. So really important message. I pinned it to my last post, and I'm glad that I was reminded of that by one of you. And I'm really sorry I've forgotten your name, but I've pinned her post to the top of my breast cancer awareness. And again, I want to thank Ageless Beauty is Ageless 55 and Pamela for starting that going, because it was a really important message to put across. Now I'm just going to get some foundation. I put Magic foundation on the other day and I didn't like it after using Flawless Filter. It's done it again. Did you see that? I wonder if it's this light. I wonder if it's this strip light that's doing it. I keep shining like a beacon and then it goes away. There. Did you see that? Or is it just happening at this end? I'm going to turn my light down. Maybe it's something to do with my light. I'll just get my Flawless found. You saw it. You did see it. I'm lighting up and glowing in the dark. It's my mum. Yeah. Well, I do. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. My mum said hi to everyone. Mum, stop it now. My mum had a sense of humour. It'd be just the sort of thing she'd do. She had a great sense, a wicked sense of humour as well. A really wicked sense of humour. Let me just... It's doing it again. Mum, please. I know you say hi. Let me just turn my light down. It's not, well, I've got a ring light in front of me. And I don't know if it's that that's doing it or not. It's bizarre. It doesn't look like it's doing it, but maybe it is. Let me just turn the light down a bit. But as soon as we said Mum, it lit up. Shall I see if it happens again? Mum? She won't do it when she's asked to do it anyway. Let me just turn my light down a minute. 1 second. I've just got to move. It's when I do that, isn't it? That's what it is. Look, when I go off camera and I come back on, it is my camera adjusting to the light. I'll turn it down a little bit. 1 second. Right. It may still do it. I don't know. It's still doing it. Look at that. Oh, well. I don't need any flawless filter, do I? I've got my own flawless filter going on. How bizarre. Looks even worse now I've turned it down. I have no idea why it's doing it, because there's nothing on the actual, on the light that's actually changing colour at all. It must be the camera on my phone that's adjusting to the light. Right, I'm going to go in with Airbrush Flawless and try not to be put off by the lighting. I can just say, oh, look, I've got Wonder Glow on. Isn't Charlotte's Wonder Glow brilliant? Except I haven't got it on at all. It's really putting me off. So, I've got an idea for a teal look, which I'm going to do. I fell over yesterday, and it was so silly because I'm very careful about falling because I've got very poor balance. So when I'm standing up, I'm very, very careful, but I wasn't actually standing up. I hadn't made my bed, and I had a load of towels and clothes at the end of my bed, and there is a mirror to the side of my bed, and I went to sit down on the end of the bed to look in the mirror, and I didn't realise that the bed actually stopped because the clothes made the bed look longer, and I fell off the end of the bed and went straight into the door, smacked my head, and my hips today are so sore. So I didn't actually fall over from standing, but I fell over from sitting. And I was shouting for Jack, and of course he was doing the typical thing of ignoring me. You found a lump before last Christmas. You had a biopsy, it came back okay. It wasn't cancer. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. It ruined your Christmas. Oh, well, I hope you have, Stacey, I hope you have a better Christmas this year. I remember being recalled once from my mammogram, and it just said, it didn't say anything. I just got this letter about 3 days after my mammogram saying, you've been referred for an ultrasound and biopsy. And that's the only information I got. And I was terrified. But it turned out to be a cyst. A plain and simple cyst. And I remember they were so nice to me because I went to have my yearly mammogram. I've had yearly mammograms now since I was 39 because I've got 2 first-degree relatives, 3 first-degree relatives. So I had to think about what is first and second degree. An aunt and 2 first-degree relatives. The reason I say first-degree relatives is because I'm respecting the privacy of somebody very close to me who has had breast cancer, who chooses to keep it private. But I went one year for my mammogram, and it was 3 days after my mum died. And when they do your mammogram, the first thing they ask is, has there been any change in your family history? Has there been any new members? And I said, yes, my mum. And they said, and how is she? And I said, she died on Friday. And I burst into tears, and they were so lovely. I now look jaundiced, but I can assure you that in real life I don't. I don't know what's happened. Have I done something to the... No, I've got it on normal cam. I thought maybe I'd done something to the camera settings, you know? It's bizarre. Do almost be better turning the light off. Anyway, this is Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I don't know what I really look like because this is not giving a true indication at all. But I will keep going. The show must go on. Let me just have a little break, sip of tea, and have a look at your... I did say you shine brighter than any of her makeup. You did. You certainly did. There you go. Thank you, Ali. Was so scary. 6 weeks in total to get my results. 6 weeks? That's not on. It's supposed to be 2. Camera adjusting to the light. Yes, it might be. It's not a fluorescent light. It's one of these strip light. Not strip lights. Ring lights. It's a big ring light. It could very, very well be my mum saying hello. I've had all sorts of funny messages from my mum. Right. Let me get on. Sorry if I was slurping my tea. Tastes better when you slurp it, doesn't it? I'm going to have to turn this light off. I'm sorry. But it's really... Look at this. I just look yellow. I look like I've got liver disease. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to turn it off. Because it's ridiculous. I can't... How can I put makeup on? I'm going to go to the school. And it's going to look all funny because of the lighting. And I can't see what I'm doing. 1 second. Oh, right, okay. May not be as good lighting, but at least I'm not shining like a beacon. Don't know what that was about. Maybe I've just got it at a funny angle. I'd set it up on the table above me today, and other days I've had it at the same height as me, so that might have been why. That's better. At least I can see what I'm doing now. It was really putting me off. Right. Let me put a bit of magic away on before my powder. I'm just going to blend this in a little bit with my fingers. I'm not going to bother with colour corrector today. And then I want a bit of shade. Shade 8. There you are. It's a bit like Wayne, isn't it? He's always moaning about his camera not focusing. At least he doesn't light up and glow like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, now get my brush out and put a bit of powder on, and I can get going with this kind of teal eye look. Now, as I said, for those of you that have just joined me, I have an idea about using a Charlotte Tilbury product that is quite old, and I'm not sure it's going to work because I think it probably needs to go in the bin. If it doesn't work, I have a backup plan, so have no fear. And I am going to use a Pat McGrath eyeshadow as well. Because somebody asked about Pat McGrath this week. So it made me think of it. And I found it in my... I found one of them anyway in the top of my box that's still packed up. I had my hair done again this week, but it keeps falling in a really funny way on the top of my head. I think I need to go and style it myself. Let's see if I missed any messages. No. Okay, that's my powder done. Now, this is my first plan, which may go out the window. I've got a colour chameleon in blue, but it came out quite a while ago. And as I've said to you, colour chameleons tend to dry up. That's the colour of it. But I have, before I came on, I sharpened it right back so that I could get it to work. And I'm hoping that, the thing is that I'm not actually using this as the primary colour on my eye. So as long as it gives me a bit of pigment, it's only really to be put on as a base. But I think after this, it's going in the bin, which is a real shame. I wish he'd bring this one back. So this is Colour Chameleon in Enchanting Indigo, which is definitely needs to go in the bin. It's dried up. But I just want the base to be sticky and a little bit blue. And the reason is because I'm going to use an eyeshadow by Pat McGrath that is a shimmery green. So by putting the blue underneath, I'm turning it teal. Because I don't want it to be green, I want it to be teal. And this will just help it to stick. But it really has seen better days. Even with sharpening. Just smudge that out a little bit. Oh yeah, the Magic Star highlighter, it is very pretty and very, very pigmented as well. And I'll put a little bit if it's going to allow me to do it. Yeah, under my eyes. So I've got a bit of a blue base going on. Have to get dressed for an appointment. Okay, catch you later, sweetie. See you later, Pamela. Pamela always calls me sweetie, so I've got into the habit of calling her sweetie now. So whenever I see it, I think of sweetie. Right, that'll do. As I say, it's only a base, so it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to get my Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette out. And this one is called, what's this one called? What's it called? Where's the name of it? It's this one. I think it's the bigger bronze seduction one. I can't remember where they put the names, but anyway, I'm going to show it you. Just hold on a second. So I think this is the larger bronze seduction palette, I think. And I'm trying to get that bit of paper out of the box. There we are. So here is the Pat McGrath palette. Some lovely shades there. Can you see those? And I'm going to use this one on my lid. And I'm going to use a little bit of the brown mixed with this one. These two mixed together in my socket. Okay, so let me just go in with that first. So I'm just going to take the lighter one of those warmer shades. And I'm going to put that. Now this is going to start to look a bit purple, which is great because I love purple and teal together. Because I'm mixing a sort of reddish tone with a blue, it's going to look purple in the socket. Just take that out here. And then the other side. Let me put this down somewhere. Has anyone else ever tried purple and teal together? It's so lovely. It's not something you'd immediately think would work, but it does. So Charlotte doesn't do the blue colour chameleon, but basically you just need a blue eyeshadow pencil. Have a look at Rimmel. They do some really good ones. Hello. Oh, hello, Gemma. I saw Shahina saying hello to you. Hello, Gemma. Where is Gemma? Oh, there you are. Love the eye colour. The eye colour that I've just put on is a very, very old colour chameleon called Enchanting Indigo. And now I'm going in. It's really a bit too old, but it's just to use as a base. And it's a blue colour chameleon that Charlotte brought out a long time ago. And it probably should have gone in the bin. And I'm now using Pat McGrath, and I think it's Bronze Ambition, the large Bronze Ambition. But I can never work out where the name of her palette is on the box. Mothership 2 Sublime. Mothership 2 Sublime. Sorry. Mothership 2 Sublime. And I'm now going to build up, and I'll put a little bit of the brown, that darker one, in the corner, just to build up the intensity in the corner. And it won't look brown again because I've got the blue underneath, so it's going to look more purpley. And then we're going to get to the teal. I think the neighbours are out on the lawn. They must be thinking, that woman's in there on her own. She's talking to herself. They must think I'm crazy. Well, I am, but... And then I'll just take the smudge brush with a mixture of that brown and that dark, that slightly lighter rose colour, and put it over the colour chameleon underneath. What was that comment? That colour top really suits you, thank you. It's autumn, it's teal time. Ali, did you get your Mothership on the Pat McGrath site? Yes, I did. I got it on the Pat McGrath site. And the reason I will buy off Pat McGrath, even though it's the States, is because she offers a price where they guarantee that you're not going to be clobbered with customs. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to go in with this here, which is green. But if you see, if I turn it, it does look a little bit teal. And this blue underneath is hopefully going to make it look even more teal. I'm going to take my finger, because your finger is the best thing to use for shimmers. Look at that. And I'm going to put that on my lid. And with the blue underneath, it's going to look hopefully less green and a little bit more blue. But if not, I can mix another colour into it. Yeah, it's still looking a bit too green. I know. It's lovely green, but I want it to look teal. But I've got another idea to mix with it. Oh yeah, Pat McGrath shadows are beautiful. They are always stunning colours. Warm up the liner with a lighter, not too burnt, but to soften them up. Let me read that again. Warm up the liner with a lighter, not too burnt it, but to soften them up. Okay, tell me a little bit about what you mean. I will. Now, I'm going to mix some blue in with that because it's looking a bit too green. And I want it to sort of go with my top and start to mix in a bit more with the purple. It is lovely as it is, but I want to mix a bit of blue. And I think this is the one I'm looking for. A lighter, as in cigarette lighter. I'm loving these colours. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Midnight Seduction Nocturnal Cat Eyes to Hypnotise. Now, if I mix a bit of that in with it, it should give me the colour of my top. Yeah, there we have it. That's what I wanted. A proper teal. Oh, warm up the eyeliner, as in to make it softer. I see what you mean. Yeah, it's got to that stage. Do you mean the colour chameleon? It's got to that stage where it's not... Oh, with a cigarette lighter. Okay. What, to really make it carry on working? And I'm going to put... I've got to take... Have I? No, maybe not. No, I've got the purple underneath. I'm liking that. And then I'm going to take this shimmer shade at the end and use that as a highlighter. And she's got a black in this palette, so I'll use that as a liner. I see what you mean now. If you warm it up, as in with a cigarette lighter, it will soften it. I get what you mean now. And I just quickly whiz over my blending brush to make sure that's all coming together. Now I'm going to take a liner brush. It's a really good idea. I've never thought of doing that. As long as it doesn't get too hot near your eyes. You've got to test it on the back of your hand, I presume, I hope. I'm going to take a liner brush and I'm going to put this black. I'm going to use that black as a liner in the palette. I love Charlotte's little liner brush. It's really good for stamping a small line. Now, if you want this to look more intense, just put a pencil liner on first or wet it. I've got a really good liner that I bought just before I moved. And of course, it's buried somewhere in the box. And I talked about it just before I moved. What was it called? It was by Shiseido. Really soft. And really gives you an ultra thin line. Give myself a little bit of a wing. We do love the thin liners, us hoodies. That is correct. So that is my eye makeup look. And what I'll just do is pop a little bit of this one here. Now you can't see it, it looks white in this camera, but it's not. It's kind of got all different, it's one of these multi-reflect. Let me show you on my finger and you'll see what I mean. As you turn it, it looks a bit pink, it looks a bit, I'm just gonna dot that in the center. Just to highlight the center a little bit. Just need to blend that in with my fingers a bit. Which palette? This is the Pat McGrath. Why am I closing the palette? The Pat McGrath Mothership 2 Sublime. Let me just turn it that way. Can you see? So I use that one on my lid, but I mixed it with some of Charlotte's Blue Nocturnal Eyes to Hypnotise. And then I used a blue colour chameleon underneath, and I put these two colours in my socket, but when it mixed with the blue, it made it purple, because I love purple and teal together. It's my favourite combination. I actually thought next time I go to a makeup artist and she says, what do you want doing? I'm going to say, do a purple and teal look, because I'd love to see what another makeup artist would do. Right, I need some mascara. Yeah, like a peacock. Thank you, Linda. And, you know, a lot of it is all about the base, because I put a blue eye pencil underneath. It mixed in with those shades to give me purple and teal. Thank you, Robin. That was the idea. That was the idea, to go with my top. So don't be afraid to mix up your colours and your eyeshadow bases to get the colour that you want. You don't have to go out and find a colour that matches an outfit if you know how to mix colours. I'm just using Legendary Lashes Volume 2. And then I need to do my brows quickly. So I'm feeling a bit lazy with my brows, so I'll just use the Legendary Brows today instead of the pencil. And this is the shade Supermodel. It's a really quick and easy way of doing your brows. Guys, my phone rang. I just declined it. It looks like somebody trying to sell me something. There we go, brow's done. Now, my ring light isn't on now, and something weird's going on again with the lighting. I have to say hello, Mum, again. I know. Oh, do you know the ones that really wind me up? You know, I think everyone's got to earn a living, and that's fine. And if they ring you up and say, I'm selling such and such, I normally say, oh, thank you, but I'm not interested, and I'm polite. The ones that I often don't feel like being polite with are the ones that say, hi, our records show that you've been in an accident. Because they don't. They don't have you. All they've got is your phone number. And they're just calling you at random to see if you've been in an accident. And that annoys me because I would be polite to them if they said, excuse me, but we are a no win, no fee solicitors, and we're ringing to check whether or not you've been in an accident. Then I would be polite. But the fact that they say our records show you've been in one, am I correct, immediately makes me not want to be very polite, because it's a lie. They don't have any. If you were to say, and I knew there was a prank caller that used to stay on the line and go, oh yeah, how did you get the details? And they go, oh, we just need your registration. They go, well, you should have it there. No, we haven't got that here. We can't, because of data protection, we can't. And then he'd spin them along. He'd go, oh, but only I've got 3 cars. And I've had 2 accidents, one in the big one and one in the small one. So which one are you calling about? And he'd keep them on for ages, and it was really quite funny. Oh, the weird light fairy is having a go again. Let me get my blushes out. Now, I'm not sure you're going to see my blush. Now, I haven't got my light on, and yet this light is going weird again. Let me just move off camera and come back. What is going on with this? Let's see if I turn round. Is it because you want to be in the picture, Mum? I don't know what's going on here. It looks like I've got... It must be the sunlight on in the window. It's bizarre. I'm really sorry, guys, about this. I have no idea why it's doing this. Anyway, right, what blush shall I put on? Let me get my blushes out. What blush would you like to see? Would you like to see my selection of Charlotte Tilbury blushes? Let me just get all of them, because I've got all of them. So I can show you them all. Oops, excuse me a second. Right. So we have, in no particular order, First Love. This is the one that smashed on me, and I actually put it together again. But you can't, this lighting. Now what happened there? It suddenly went off when I did something. Right, let me do it that way. So that is First Love, so you can see the colour that way. I'll just take you through all the blushes, and then you can pick one. I think that would look quite nice with it, actually. First Love is really lovely and looks good with any skin tone, particularly fair, but even if you're dark skin toned, it looks fine. Hello, Wilma. I have to apologise if you've just joined me about the lighting. For some reason, the lighting is going nuts in here, and it looks really weird, but that isn't how I look like in real life. And I've even turned my ring light off, so whatever it is coming from the window. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is Sex on Fire. Don't worry, Stacey. So that's Sex on Fire. That one, be careful of this one if you are tend to avoid this one at the moment because I'm a bit menopausal. If you are prone to hot flushes, this one looks a little bit like you're having a hot flush. It really brings some pink into your cheeks, but that really dark pink of a hot flush. So if you've got a bit of high colour, I would avoid Sex on Fire. Not the action, but the blusher. Right, and then Love Glow. Love Glow is the two pinks that almost look the same, but the one in the middle is lighter, and then the outer one is a little bit darker. So that's Love Glow. It's very pretty, that one. Then we have, what's the next one? Now, this one is called Ecstasy, and I would say if you want to get a Charlotte Tilbury blush and you're not sure which one to get, this one suits, I would say, most people's skin tone. Unless you're incredibly dark or incredibly pale, this suits most people's skin tones and it goes with most looks. So it's a really versatile one. So that is Ecstasy. It just goes with everything. And it's in a lot of Charlotte's iconic looks, this one. So that's Ecstasy. Then we have Love is the Drug. Now, Love is the Drug is very, very pigmented. If you are dark-skinned and her blushes don't show up very well on you, this one will. It's a very, very hot pink in the middle. You can still wear it if you're fair, but just be careful because it's very pigmented. And then the outer one, and this one goes with Vintage Vamp look. Really pretty, that one. Then we have Pillow Talk, which you've all seen, no doubt. One of her more recent launches. So it's a nice terracotta around the middle. And then this one that's almost like a highlighter. Well, it is a highlighter, I think, in the middle. And then, last but certainly not least, the one that was sent to me, the only one I didn't have until a few months ago, and then they sent it to me, Charlotte Tilbury, which is the Climax. And this is very good on dark skin. You can almost use this as a bronzer as well, this outer one. And then the middle one is a lovely peachy shade. Very good if you've got pigmentation. If you're sort of medium to dark tan and you've got pigmentation. If you're lighter and you've got pigmentation, First Love is the same thing because it's got peach tone in it. And that also helps to get rid of pigmentation. But what shall I use? Which blush do you think I should use? I'm going to let you choose. I think I'm sort of thinking either First Love or Ecstasy. Something with a bit peach in it. You want Love Glow? All right, Love Glow. Let me find Love Glow. Right, that's not there. It's under this pile. There we go, Love Glow. Right, let me get my blush. So this one, blush. I'm going to get my blush brush out. That's Love Glow. And my blush brush. So, swish. I like to do my swishes first. It's just my thing. And pop. Now, normally I'd go for more of a peachy blush. Just because I've got a lot going on my eyes. But this will work as well. There you go, there's Love Glow. I'll put a little bit of Bronze and Glow on before I get onto lipsticks. Where is my face palette? I want my Bronze and Glow. Thank you. I've got hair again, molting from one of the brushes. I'll put a bit, now I'm just using the Film Star Bronze and Glow, which I do need to chuck. I've got a new one and I won't start it till I've run out. Do you want me to use the Magic Star highlighter? I can do that. I'll do the lipstick first and I'll use the Magic Star highlighter. Put all this away in a minute. Let's put that up there. Lipsticks, where are you, lipsticks? Right. Let me see, what shall I use? I am going to use, I think, a nice sort of, I wonder, will that be too much? No. Will it? I'm just thinking whether to be really bold. Did I get the... No, I didn't get the new Film Star Bronze and Glow in the limited edition packaging. Because I've got an unopened Film Star Bronze and Glow that I've got to use up yet. Too much, isn't it? That's too pink. I was tempted to use Velvet Underground, but I think it's going to be too much with the eyes. I'm going to go for something a bit more purpley. I think either Amazing Amal, but I'm tempted to use Hell's Bells because it will go with the purple. Hell's Bells or Bond Girl. No, I'm going to go with Hell's Bells. Yes. You don't need it, but you like the packaging. Well, have you got Film Star Bronze and Glow? And if so, have you got a lot left? And if so, how old is it? And would you like me to sell it to you that you need it? Because we often do that, don't we, for one another? It's convince one another. We find out whether we want to use it and then we convince one another that we need it. Right, I'm going to use... Yes, I have a lot left. But is it old? You want me to sell it to you? Is it old? Or maybe, you know, you can have one for your kit at home and one sitting permanently in your handbag. And the one that's pretty could sit permanently in your handbag. So that you have got something pretty for your handbag that you take out and about. If you want to convince yourself that you need it. You see, I'm a master at justifying makeup purchases. Right, I just need to sharpen this pencil, which is going to be a bit tricky. I'm going to have to put these sharpenings on the table because I've got no bin around me and I've got loads of colour chameleon in it. Right. Actually, normally, I've got a sharpener for my eye pencils and a sharpener for my lip pencils. But I'm mixing them up today. Right, I'm now putting Savage Rose on. Okay, so how much have you used in a year and a half? Have you touched pan? Because if you touch pan, or you're starting to touch pan, then you could justify having one in your handbag. But you're going to say no. It's only because you told me that you want me to sell it to you. Right, and I'm going to use Hell's Bells. Now listen, you've asked me to sell it to you and you keep giving me reasons why you shouldn't. What about, isn't there something else that's got a similar front to it? Hasn't she bought something else out with the Swarovski packaging? Is it just the bronze and glow? Because I thought I'd seen something else. No? Right, that's Hell's Bells. The new eyeshadow palette. There you go. So have you got the new eyeshadow palette? Has it got the crystals on it? Now, I want to use the highlighter, don't I? Yes. Well, we're all addicted. You're in the right place. This is like, I said at one point, I feel like renaming my channel Makeup Addicts Anonymous. And you can all come on and confess your sins. You know, like say it's been 3 weeks since my last purchase. And we can all have a badge on, like, I haven't bought anything for 3 weeks now. We can all congratulate one another. Excuse me a second, I just need to get my Magic Star highlighter. And then someone else can come on and say, I'm shaking, I haven't bought anything for a month. Right, Magic Star highlighter. I'm just checking the time. My son's got rugby practice tonight, but I'm going at 3 o'clock in case they cancel it, like last time. So here's the Magic Star highlighter. You may draw new subs. Yeah, do you know what? I've had 20... well, the last time I checked, which was yesterday, I'd had 25 new subs since Saturday, which was great. So here we go. Magic Star highlighter. I'm not going to wet it this time because it looked absolutely crazy when I wet it. It is very pretty, this. Now, apparently Charlotte's saying that this is a universally works on any skin. It's done again. Sorry, this is not Magic Star highlighter. That would have been really good, wouldn't it, if I was videoing it and doing that and then said, oh, look how shiny that highlighter is. That's the lighting again, going weird. That's not the highlighter. That is the weird lighting going on. See, I don't know, like, this is really dangerous now because I was going to put some down the centre of my nose, but I can't see how much I should put on. Let me have a look in the mirror and I'll look back at you because otherwise I could end up going really overboard with my highlighter. So I'm going to choose to believe it's my mum saying thank you to everybody for watching my last video, because she did want me to spread the word. Now, what I was saying is that this is apparently universally flattering. I'd love to know if any of you who are fairer have bought this highlighter and whether you agree that it works on your skin tone, because I think it's got quite a gold undertone to it. And I'm going to move this camera a little bit to see if I can get rid of this. There's something very odd going on. Excuse me a second. There's something very weird going on with the lighting on this phone. And you can't actually see what it looks like. I'm going to have to take a photo afterwards. But that is the look today. And I'm really sorry about the really weird lighting. I don't know what's going on. I can't work out what's doing it. It's very bizarre. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Now let me see. While I'm having my... Will you do the Trini Stackables? Yes, I will, Shahina. Thank you for reminding me. I will do the Trini Stackables. I'll do that as my next video because that's long overdue. Yes, me, it's beautiful on very fair skin. Use a light hand and a fan brush. Okay. Judge-free zone for the Addicts Anonymous. Think if I have the money before it sells out, I'll just get it, as I want the mini brush that comes with it. Well, yeah, you could do what I've done. I've had a new Bronze and Glow sitting in a box for about 8 months because I don't want to throw out the old one, but there'll come a point I will. Yeah, okay, no, I definitely will do that. Thank you all for joining me. I'm sorry about the weird lighting. I can't explain it because my light isn't on. I've turned the ring light off and there isn't particular sunshine shining in through the window. I haven't done anything to the settings on my camera. I've checked, it says it's on normal. I don't know what's going on. All I can say is my mum is saying hi to you guys. All right, so take care. Have a lovely day. And I'll see you all very soon. And I'll probably be able to upload one tomorrow. And then I'll be in London for the weekend. But then I'll upload another one on Monday. So have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Love you all. Mwah!